Acknowledging loss is the first step towards healing. One of the hardest things about grief is having the courage to acknowledge the loss. In this video, I'll talk about the importance of facing loss and the emotional challenges that you may face. The fear of loss. Many people avoid acknowledging loss because it feels too painful or overwhelming. Denial or avoidance can temporarily protect us, but it often prolongs the healing process. I remember shortly after losing my sister, I think it was the next day, me and my niece were lying in the bed, and I think reality hadn't honestly set with me, and I was just struggling just to hold back the emotions as my niece was, asking, all the questions that she felt she needed to ask in that moment. Um, but I was trying to hide it. I was trying to hide it because I didn't want her to see my true emotions in the situation. Um, but I couldn't hold back my tears, and sitting there and watching and observing this little girl ask me questions about her mom and why things happened the way that they did. Um, so I just had to release it. Um, and I just found in that moment that was the best thing that I could do. Emotional challenges after acknowledging loss. Once you accept the loss, a wave of emotions can surface, such as sadness, anger, confusion, or even guilt. Keep in mind, it's normal to feel overwhelmed by these emotions, and they may show up in ways and times that are unexpected. I remember shortly after my sister had um, passed away, um, I felt a sense of shock, a sense of denial, like, is this real? Um, but I felt a sense of anger just boiling up in me, and I cried in that moment, but I couldn't stay in the room with the remaining of the family. Um, so I just ran out of the room and just uh, collapsed into the floor, and I just started banging my hands on the ground in frustration and anger due to the situation, because I was like, not only did I just lose my sister, I've lost my mother too. Um, and I just thought, like, how does something like this happen to someone? In that moment, I really didn't realize how angry I was about the situation until I really allowed myself to feel the loss. Acceptance is a gradual process. Acceptance doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process that comes in waves with good and bad days. By acknowledging your loss, you can take the first step towards eventually healing and growing. After a few months, long after my sister and my mother were no longer with us, um, it was difficult at times, but I had to allow myself to feel reassured in the situation that over time it was going to get better. Um, and with that, I just began to just start to seek peace and acceptance in the situation. Acknowledging loss is scary, but it's the first step towards healing. It's okay to take your time and to feel your emotions and trust that healing will come in due time.